What happens when the hunter becomes the hunted? The air in downtown Chicago was thick with summer heat, the kind that clung to your skin and made tempers flare. Officer Daniel Hargrove strode through the crowded street, his badge glinting under the streetlights, his eyes scanning for trouble. To him, trouble had a face, a color, a stereotype he'd built in his mind over years on the force. He saw it in the young black woman standing near a bodega, her hands in her pockets, her gaze fixed on her phone. To Hargrove, she was out of place, a threat in his carefully ordered world. Without hesitation, he approached, his voice sharp. "Hey you, hands where I can see them." She didn't flinch. Her name was Aisha Carter, though Hargrove didn't know it yet. She raised her eyes slowly, calm but piercing, like she was sizing him up. "I'm not doing anything wrong," she said, her voice steady, unshaken. The crowd began to gather, phones out, recording. Hargrove's face reddened. He wasn't used to defiance. Not here, not from someone like her. "Step back, now," he barked, stepping closer, his hand twitching toward his baton. Aisha didn't move. Instead, she tilted her head, a faint smile tugging at her lips. That smilelight unnerved him. It wasn't fear, wasn't submission. It was something else, something that made his gut twist. "You deaf?" he shouted, and in a flash of rage, he swung his leg, aiming a swift kick at her shin to force compliance. The crowd gasped, but Aisha didn't stumble. She caught his leg midair, her grip like iron, and twisted just enough to throw him off balance. Hargrove staggered, his eyes wide with shock. "Who the hell are you?" he spat, regaining his footing, his hand now on his holster. Aisha's smile vanished. She reached into her jacket, slow and deliberate, and pulled out a badge that gleamed brighter than his. FBI. The letters hit him like a freight train. The crowd erupted in murmurs, some cheering, others shouting. Hargrove's face drained of color. This wasn't just defiance, this was authority, and it outranked him. "You just assaulted a federal agent," Aisha said, her voice low but cutting, each word a blade. "Step back, officer, or I'll have you in cuffs before you can blink." The street seemed to hold its breath. Hargrove's mind raced. He'd seen her as a target, a nobody, someone he could bully to feel powerful. Now, he was the one exposed, his prejudice laid bare for the world to see. But this wasn't just about him and Aisha anymore. From the crowd emerged a man gray-haired, wiry, with a face etched by years of hardship. His name was Marcus, a local shopkeeper who'd watched too many scenes like this unfold. He stepped forward, his voice trembling but resolute. "I've seen you do this before, Hargrove," he said, pointing a shaky finger. "Last month, you roughed up my nephew for nothing. You think you're untouchable?" The crowd grew louder, emboldened by Marcus's courage. Aisha's eyes flicked to him, a flicker of gratitude passing across her face. She hadn't expected an ally, not here. Marcus's words shifted the air, turning the moment into something bigger, a reckoning. Hargrove's bravado crumbled. He stammered. Two didn't know who she was, but the excuse sounded hollow, even to him. Aisha stepped closer, her badge still in hand. "This isn't about who I am," she said. "It's about who you think you can hurt. You saw me and made a choice. You chose wrong." Her words weren't just for Hargrove, they were for the crowd, for the cameras, for the city watching. She wasn't just fighting for herself. She was fighting for every person who'd ever been judged by the color of their skin, every soul Hargrove had ever intimidated. Marcus spoke again, his voice steadier now. "My nephew's still scared to walk home at night because of you." "How many others, Hargrove? How many?" The question hung heavy, unanswered. Aisha nodded at Marcus, a silent acknowledgement. She turned back to Hargrove, her gaze unyielding. "You're done here," she said. "Backup's on the way. You'll answer for this." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. Hargrove's shoulders slumped, his hand falling from his holster. The crowd's cheers grew louder, a wave of defiance washing over the street. Aisha didn't gloat. She didn't need to. Her strength wasn't in the badge or the authority, it was in her refusal to bow, her choice to fight back, not with violence, but with truth. As the first patrol car pulled up, Aisha glanced at Marcus. "Thank you," she said softly. He nodded, tears in his eyes. "No, thank you," he replied, "for showing us we can fight back." The scene wasn't over, not yet. Hargrove would face consequences, maybe not enough, but more than he ever expected. Aisha would keep fighting, not just for herself, but for the Marcuses of the world, the ones who'd been silenced too long. The crowd dispersed, but the moment lingered, captured on phones, shared across the city, a spark of hope in a world that needed it. Justice wasn't won that day, not fully, but it was fought for, fiercely, by a woman who turned prejudice into power, in a community that found its voice. Yindi,